Hey, what's going on, everybody? Leigh Dickey here. Welcome to a brand new episode of Yo Nostalgia, the show that covers everything you grew up with, from trends, toys, film, TV. If it was part of the everyday culture, everyday lives in the past 50 to 60 years, I will cover it right here on Yo Nostalgia. Your childhood memories, just through a new lens. So, today I figured I'm going to give you a look and sort of a review and my reaction to the Punky Brewster sequel series revival reboot that is set to debut on the NBC streaming service Peacock at some point in either 2020 or 2021. But let's just get into this review reaction of the Punky Brewster reboot, revival, sequel series trailer. Before we do that, I want to tell you where you can find Yo Nostalgia. Of course, Yo Nostalgia, those new episodes released every 2 weeks on your favorite podcast app and player of choice: iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, my official website, LeighTDickey.com, and wherever podcasts are available. Please do comment, like, share, and subscribe. Find us on YouTube as well under Leigh Dickey TV. Leave us reviews and rate us 5 stars if you would, please and thank you. If you want to follow along with the show, follow on social media at Yo Nostalgia Show and send comments, questions, and ideas for future episodes to yonostalgiashow at gmail.com. Alright, now that all that housekeeping is out of the way, let's get into my reaction and review of the trailer for the Punky Brewster Reboot series right here on Yo Nostalgia. Alright, so the Punky Brewster Revival Reboot series trailer. I'm going to give you a bit of my backstory or my history with the show, or at least my experience with the original Punky Brewster, and that is that I have no history with it. I have no experience with it. I've never seen a full episode. The show it was on the air before my time, slightly before my time. It was in the 80s, but I wasn't around to enjoy the show. And it predates me by a little bit. So I have no history with it. I've never seen the show. I've never seen a full episode, like I said. And I never saw it in syndication, even though its last season, I think, from 87 to 88, aired in syndication, with the first few seasons airing on NBC, who obviously owns the rights to the series, and that's why they're probably going to bring it back to stream on their Peacock service, coming up either later this year in 2020 or in 2021. To be honest, after watching this trailer, I'm getting it's your typical sitcom. I mean, I know who Solei Frye is, and, I understand that she is an actress that got her start as a child, because in the original series, Punky Brewster is a child, so there you are. And I understand, after doing some research and finding out basically the premise of the series is that Punky Brewster was abandoned by her parents, along with her dog, and was taken in, and then, adventures ensued on from there. In this trailer for this revival series, Solei Frye obviously is back in the Punky Brewster role, and Cherie Johnson is back for the revival as well, even though she's not featured in the trailer, but she has signed on to come back for the revival series, which I suppose to those that watched the series when it was first on the air, that brings back a whole lot of memories and maybe good times for all those involved. And I'm sure that everybody involved with the revival, obviously they all signed on because they wanted to do it. It also features, this revival series, Freddie Prinze Jr. as Punky Brewster's ex-husband. Now, those of you who aren't familiar with Freddie Prinze Jr., he was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, She's All That, and the Scooby-Doo movies from the early 2000s. Plus, he had his own sitcom in the mid-2000s. Lasted 1 year. I think from 2005 to 2006. That's a bit of the background. When it comes to this trailer, I'm getting very much the Melissa and Joey vibe. And it pretty much, any typical sitcom that is with kids. It's just anything surrounding children. So it's very like Melissa and Joey to me, which obviously starred Joey Lawrence and Melissa Joan Hart. Also, child stars of the 80s and 90s, along with, I get some George Lopez vibes in there as well. And there's another sitcom that's being thrown around in my head that I can't really think of. I probably will before the end of this review. But it's very Melissa and Joey, very, like, any sitcom you can think of that has kids. It's very Melissa and Joey, very mom-like. And I'm just like, I've never seen an original, like, an episode of the original series. I've only seen clips. I do realize that they tried a Fenster Hill spinoff with the original series that didn't take off. It wasn't picked up. And then I understand that they had an animated show based on Punky Brewster that ran for 2 seasons of 13 episodes apiece from 85 to 86. But it's very much like mom down on her luck. That's what you get with the Soleil Moon Frye character in Punky Brewster 30 years on. It's very much she comes back, Punky Brewster's fallen off, she's fallen on some hard times, and she just needs to get her life back together because she's got 3 young kids, along with a dog in this series, Freddie Prinze Jr., who's her ex-husband, and then she meets a girl that reminds her of her younger self. So take that for whatever you will, but it's very much like typical, this is what a sitcom is now when it comes to like single parenting and 3 kids, calamity ensues. She's trying to be wholesome, but it's trying to be funny. And I've never seen an episode of the original, so perhaps I'll check this out. There was a scene in there where, oh, Mom, you're wearing 2 shoes. Haven't done that in a while. I'm assuming that's a callback to the original series where Punky Brewster, Soleil Moon Frye, wore 2 different types of shoes, obviously in the original series when she was younger. So I'm assuming that's what that callback is. And there was another spot in there where she's drinking orange juice straight out of the bottle, and her kids are like, Mom, and then she just spits it back into the glass. And it's just, well, I've grown up, kinda, grown up-ish, and I don't know. I'll check it out, but from what I've seen, it's just typical. I know that everyone's a critic, and all that I'm doing is producing this podcast and talking about my impressions of it through, filming myself. But what I get is it's trying to be mom and almost like Melissa and Joey, along with every other, sitcom that has kids in it, thrown together and just amalgamated into one show. I don't know what the original show was like. Perhaps I'll go seek out some episodes, or if you guys are watching this or listening to it, again, like I did with the Saved by the Bell episode, I will link the trailer to the Punky Brewster revival in the description and the show notes, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But it's very, I guess it's just trying to be your typical sitcom. It's going for that typical sitcom feel, and I know that everything from the 80s and 90s is very much in right now because that was a long time ago. Not that I'm trying to date myself, but, just born in the right decade, at the wrong end, I suppose you could say that. And again, I've never seen an episode of the original show or the It's Punky Brewster animated series, so maybe I'll go check it out. I don't know. But why don't you tell me if you're old enough to remember the original show and or the animated cartoon, why don't you tell me what your favorite moment is from Punky Brewster? If you've seen the trailer, let me know what you think. But from what I gather, it's very much, single mother, 3 kids, has a dog, has an ex-husband played by Freddie Prinze Jr., and just trying to get her life back together while calamity ensues. We all have fun, ha ha ha, have laughs. It's going to be on a streaming service. Again, like I said in the Saved by the Bell episode, I'm not sure what that means for us Canadian viewers, because this show, Yo Nostalgia, comes to you from Canada because that's where I happen to be based out of. And, the Peacock streaming service from NBC is only available in the US. The Xfinity customers only have it right now. And as I'm filming this, it's like mid-April. So I'm assuming that the wider launch, and from what I've read, it's going to happen in July. What that means for any international viewers like us in Canada or anybody else around the world remains to be seen. But my impressions of the Punky Brewster Revival series through the trailer, I mean, it was a short, 30-second trailer or so. It's a lot of callbacks to the original series, which will probably make people of my age and a little older who have seen the show very warm and fuzzy. But to me, it's just trying to typically be your family sitcom. 3 kids trying to get your life back together. Calamity ensues. We all have fun. There's a scene in there, even though Freddie Prinze Jr. plays her ex-husband, where it seems that, Solei Frye and Freddie Prinze Jr. kind of rekindle that character romance, and who knows what will happen there. But these are just my opinions on the Punky Brewster Revival series trailer. It reminds me of shows like Melissa and Joey and Mom, because it's very typical of, okay, well, we need a premise. Let's do it. Solei Frye is 30 years older now. Not knocking it. She looks great. And so let's just have her play a single mother with a dog again, putting on, 2 different shoes, I'm assuming, like she did in the original show, and trying to sort of grow up. I don't know. But, I mean, if you guys have seen the trailer, let me know what you think. Thank you all for tuning in, watching, listening to this episode of Yo Nostalgia. Again, I have been your host, Leigh Dickey. New episodes of Yo Nostalgia are released every other Tuesday on your favorite podcast app and player of choice, as well as my official website, LeighTDickey.com, and YouTube under Leigh Dickey TV. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Leave us reviews and rate us 5 stars if you would. Please follow along with the show on social media at Yo Nostalgia Show, and send your comments, questions, and episode ideas to yonostalgiashow@gmail.com. But this wraps up another episode of Yo Nostalgia. Of course, I have been your host, Leigh Dickey, and those have been my thoughts on the Punky Brewster Revival series trailer and what I think of the series in general, what I think it's going to be. Let me know if you've seen the trailer, and let me know what you think of it. Please do. Thank you very much. But of course, thank you all again for watching and listening. And we will see you in 2 weeks for a brand new episode of Yo Nostalgia. All right, I'm Leigh Dickey, and I'm signing off. Peace.